Before I take you through this, I'll say what we think we're seeing, and then I'd like to know if it matches your world because you're closer to these customers than I am. Nearly every client is buying AI now, Copilot especially. Very few are getting real value from it, and I suspect you're seeing the same. Three things usually. Most treat it as a race. They buy the licenses, hand them out, move on. No plan, no rhythm, nobody owning it. It gets ticked off rather than used. Even the strong ones are a bit lost. Copilot, Work IQ, Fabric, a dozen things landing at once. Microsoft and the industry is literally flooding the zone with new ideas and new technology in the AI space at the moment. And for many people, that can also be a bit overwhelming and confusing. And most of it isn't paying its way yet. Where it does work, it's narrow. One role, one job, real data underneath, not a broad switch on across the business. So here's the point I'd want to land. The problem usually isn't the AI model. First, it's a people thing. It's the challenge of change management, which starts with the client actually trusting what can actually be done, safely. And then it's the data underneath it. And if that's right, it's the opening for the partner who can sort that out. Does that match what you're seeing? And if not, tell me where we've got it wrong. So let me show you where it does work because there's a clear pattern. MIT looked at enterprise AI and found that about 95% of pilots show no measurable return. That's pilots, not everything in production, so take it as a direction of travel. But it's a stark number and it fits what we all see. Now look at where AI does pay. It's the same story every time. The data is clean and the job is specific. Coding is one. GitHub's own figure is developers working around 55% faster. That's their number, so weigh it as such. Independent trials show a smaller gain, more like 20%, but still real. And well over 1 million developers now pay for it. So whichever number you trust, the direction holds. Customer service is the other one, and it's the one that matters for this conversation. Self-service is the single use case with the clearest, best measured return. McKinsey's analysis puts a self-served contact at more than 10 times cheaper than a live one. That's an analyst figure, and it matches what we keep seeing. The thread through all of it is the same. Clean, structured, specific data about one job. That's exactly what Solgari makes out of the customer conversation. Does that match your experience? Where have you seen AI actually land, and where has it stalled? Now, the market moved recently, and it moved in your favor. The big players have just put serious money into helping companies actually deploy AI, not build it. Microsoft just announced the Frontier company, $2.5 billion and 6,000 people, a large deployment effort. Amazon did something similar days before. The point isn't the numbers, it's what they're telling us. The hard part isn't the model anymore, it's getting value out of it inside a real business. There's a second signal. The old consulting model, armies of junior people billing by the hour, is being repriced hard. One of the biggest names has lost about half its market value in a year. Take that as one signal rather than the whole picture, but the direction is clear. The market is paying for outcomes, not bodies. Here's the gap. Every one of these efforts is pointed at the Fortune 500. Nobody is building senior business and AI capability for the mid-market. The giants won't send their best people down to that size of customer. That's your opening. You follow Microsoft into deployment as the senior advisor the giants won't send down market. And you lead with the use case that actually pays. Customer engagement, self-service first. One quick idea before the important slide, because it changes how you think about the size of this. The value of the conversation data isn't just for the contact center. It compounds the more roles can get at it. Frontline people, supervisors, the experts, the back office, sales and account teams, leadership. Each one that can ask a question of that history through AI adds to the return. So this isn't a contact center tool that a few dozen agents use. It's a data foundation the whole customer-facing business draws on. Every conversation provides rich context for AI to reason over. That context improves the real-time client experience and the firm's insights so they can constantly improve. The value compounds and improves the AI agents themselves, so the quality of the AI keeps improving the more context they can train on. That is the IP that your clients expect and own. That is their differentiation. This is what your clients actually need from AI today: rapid and scalable and enduring business value, delivered with their existing familiar IT environment, not a bunch of new tools they need to train their staff on. In your accounts, is it only the contact center touching this kind of data today, or is it already going wider than that? This is the one I'd really like your read on because it's the heart of it. Most Microsoft customers have a problem they don't know they have yet. Their customer conversations, the calls, the chats, the messages, sit in a separate contact center system behind an API. It's not in their Microsoft data. So when WorkIQ or Copilot arrives and they want it to reason over customer conversations, they're facing an integration project first, often the best part of a year before they see anything. Solgari customers don't have that problem. Every conversation across any channel, including voice calls, SMS, chat, WhatsApp, has been automatically written into the Dataverse, native, right next to the account records in Dynamics, transcribed, summarized, sentiment tagged, which means Microsoft's own AI can read it with no integration at all. It's ready today, in production. And on top of that foundation, Solgari runs its own agents, self-service chat and voice bots at the front door, which is the most proven use of AI anywhere, plus insight agents that read across the whole history and recommend actions for a person to approve. Here's the distinction I'd want you to hold on to. A point chat tool answers a question at the front door. Fine, but anyone can do that. Only this also lands the whole conversation as a governed record that the customer's own AI can reason over afterwards. That's the part a wedge tool can't copy. It's infrastructure, not an app. So the question for you: when your customers switch on WorkIQ, how many are actually ready for it? And how many are looking at an integration project they haven't budgeted for? Two live examples. The first is a major US sports and entertainment venue. It captures real customer conversations natively in Dynamics today, across its teams and its stadium operation. That's in production, not a prototype. The second is a global manufacturer. It started at around 60 users. It's now past 330 and still growing, expanding across the account, seat by seat. That's the compounding motion I described, working in real life. And the category itself pays. Gartner, independently, expects self-service and live chat to overtake the traditional channels by 2027. And on the return, the widely cited example is a large US transport operator reporting around 800% return on its virtual assistant. That figure comes via an economic study on the vendor's side, so read it as directional, but the direction isn't in doubt. Would a live reference like that help you open a door? Or would your customers want to see something closer to their own sector first? So how do we start? And it's deliberately small. We don't need a big program or a long statement of work. We pick one customer, one where AI genuinely matters to them and where the customer conversation data is sitting there untapped. We land Solgari together inside their teams and Dynamics. We're co-sell prioritized with Microsoft, so it moves quickly and it's fast to deploy. Then we prove the value on that one use case. Once it's proven, it grows on its own merits. More seats, more departments, more channels across the account. That's the whole idea. You become the senior advisor the mid-market adopts AI through. We prove it on one customer in weeks and expand from there. So let me end with the only question that matters today. Is there one customer already in your mind we could start with?